Good morning, students. Welcome to the first part of the chapter Real Numbers. Today, we will discuss about two important results of this chapter. The first one is Euclid's division lemma and algorithm, and second one is fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Okay? So, what is Euclid division lemma? Euclid division lemma is given by a famous mathematician Euclides, and he is also known as the father of geometry. Okay, and before understanding this concept, first of all, let's understand the lemma and algorithm. What is lemma and what is algorithm? So lemma is just a proven statement used for proving another statement. Okay, lemma is just a proven statement which we use for proving another statement. And algorithm is a process, a set of series, well defined series in which give us a method for solving a certain types of problem. With the help of this, we follow the some steps and solve the problems. Okay, so first of all, discuss what is the Euclid division lemma. Here, the concept is that for any two positive integers a and b, there exists a unique positive integers q and r such that a is equal to bq plus r. Okay, for example, if you divide a by b, you get the quotient q and remainder r. So here q and r are also a unique positive integers. So the equation is a is equal to bq plus r, where r is greater than or equal to 0 but always less than b. Okay, here a is equal to dividend, b is equal to divisor, q is equal to quotient, and r is equal to remainder. Okay, so here we just follow this step. Dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. Here divisor is b, dividend is a, quotient is q, and remainder is r. For example, if you divide 13 by 2, what you get? You get the quotient q and remainder 1. So here 6 and 1 are the quotient and remainder. You find this when you divide 13 by 2. So here 13 is equal to 2 into 6 plus 1. This is the lemma statement. Okay, and what is the Euclid division algorithm? As we said that algorithm is a well defined series, a step which gives a method to solve a certain types of problem. So here Euclid division algorithm, here we compute the SCF of two given number within some steps, and so we have to follow the sum step just like that. First step is that firstly apply Euclid division lemma to a and b, and if we divide a by b, we get to another positive integers q and r such that a is equal to bq plus r, where r is greater than or equal to 0 and less than b. Okay, so if in first step you get r is equal to 0, then the divisor is your SCF, that means b. Here b is the divisor, so b is your SCF, become your SCF. But if you get r not equal to 0, then you again apply the division lemma for b and r, and after that you continue the process till the remainder is 0, and in last the divisor in become your SCF. That means in the last step when you get r is equal to 0, on that step divisor become your SCF, yeah, your required SCF of the given number. Okay, so we follow this step to solve our sums. Let's go through this flow chart. Here applied Euclid division lemma to a and b. First of all, we divide a by b and arrange in with the order of Euclid division lemma. A is equal to bq plus r, where r is greater than or equal to 0 and less than b. But if in first step, if we get r is equal to 0, then SCF become your divisor, means b. But when r not equal to 0, then we again apply Euclid division lemma for b and r and continue till when r is equal to 0. And in last, divisor become your SCF. So let's go through this example. Here you have to find the SCF of these two number by using Euclid division algorithm. Okay, so first of all we see that 12576 12,576 is greater than 4052. So we divide this by this, that means here 12576 is your dividend and 4052 is your divisor. Okay, there is only two numbers, but when we divide this by this, we get the quotient 3 and remainder r 420. So arrange is according to the division lemma. So after arranging, we get that 12576 is equal to the 4052 into 3 plus 420. Here we see that remainder is equal to 420. That means remainder not equal to 0. So we apply the division lemma for 4052 and 420. And again we get 272 as a remainder. So we repeat this process, yeah, we continue this process till remainder equal to the 0. So let's see here, we get remainder 272. We again repeat this process. After that we get remainder 148. Then we consider the new divisor is 272 and new remainder is 148 and apply the division lemma. Then we get 272 is equal to 148 into 1 plus 124. Again the remainder is 124. That means remainder not equal to 0. So we repeat this process. In last step we see that when we divide 24 by 4, we get the quotient 6 and remainder 0. So in that line the remainder equal to the 0, that means the divisor. So here divisor is 4, because we divide 24 by 4, we get the quotient 6. So here divisor is 4, so divisor become your required SCF. So the SCF of your question is 4. Okay, I hope you understand. Let's come to the second topic, that is fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Fundamental theorem of arithmetic is totally based on two numbers, prime numbers and composite number. And I know you all are familiar with these numbers. Okay, so what is prime number? Just recall it, prime number and composite number. A number which have only two factors, 1 and the number itself, known as a prime number, like 2, 3, 5, 11, 13 and so on. And what is composite number? A number which have more than two factors, known as a composite number, like 4, 6, 10, 9 and so on. Okay, so according to this theorem, every composite number can be expressed or factorized as a product of primes. That means you can convert every composite number as a product of its prime numbers. And this factorization is unique. Always you get this factorization is always unique, apart from the order in which they occur, doesn't means, but factorization is always unique. And you can always express any composite number as a product of primes. Let's see, here we take numbers like 32760, that means 32,760. It is a composite number, and after factorize it we get 3 times 2, 2 times 3, 1 times 5, 7 and 13. That means we convert 32760 is equal to 2 to the power 3 into 3 to the power 2 into 5 into 7 into 13. And these 2, 3, 5, 7, 13s are the prime numbers. So let's see how can we convert this number, this composite number, as a prime factorization, as a product of prime factorization. Okay, so in this theorem we have to convert every composite number as a product of their prime numbers. Okay, and we use this theorem for finding SCF and LCM of the given number. Look at this example. 12 is a composite number, but we can write it in the prime factorization form as 2 into 2 into 3. That means 2 to the power 2 into 3, and it is still a unique combination. Okay, and the important fact is that the factorization is always in prime numbers, because we can also write it 12 is equal to 4 into 3, because 4 into 3 is equal to 12, and 4 and 3 both are the factors of 12. But this is not right, because 4 is not a prime number. So this is the important fact, that we have to convert in a prime numbers as a product of prime numbers. Let's see one more example. Here we have to find the SCF and LCM of 6, 72 and 120 using the prime factorization method. So firstly convert 6, 72 and 120 as a product of their prime numbers. After converting this, we have to find the SCF and LCM. So here 6 is equal to the 2 into 3 as their prime factorization form. Similarly 72 and 120. So if you want to find SCF, SCF means highest common factor. That is, you have to check out the product of smallest power of each common prime factor. So here 2 and 3, both prime numbers, are clearly common in 6, 72 and 120. So let's check the power of these numbers. So here the smallest power of these numbers is 1. So that is 2 and 3, that means 6 is the SCF of the given numbers. Now find the LCM. LCM means least common multiples. Okay, so here we check the product of greatest power of each prime factor. Okay, so the greatest power of 2 is 3, so we take 2 is to the power 3, that means 8. And greatest power of 3 is 2, so we take 3 is to the power 2, that means 9. And the greatest power of 5 is 1, so we take as a 5. After multiplying these 8 into 9 into 5, we get 360, and 360 is the LCM of given numbers. Okay, so using this prime factorization method, you can easily find the SCF and LCM of given number. And here are also some properties of SCF and LCM. You know, as the product of two numbers is equal to the product of their SCF and LCM, just like that. Okay student, so that's all for today class. Go through the worksheet 1 and 2 and try to solve it. Okay, thank you, have a nice day.